Hey friends, Motown Tress sent me over not one, but two new units for you guys to check out today. You're going to love this Kinky straight one so much, and they also sent me over their newest braided wig as well. So this is a video you don't want to miss, so let's get into it. Okay, so let's just get straight into it. I have their newest braid wig from Motown Tress, and I also have their newest 360 lace part unit with some HD lace. I'm very excited about that. So with this unit, it does have combs within the perimeter on the two sides, and it does have a comb in the back. Also has adjustable straps, and then as you can see, all of the lace goes around in a 360. This is a lace part unit, but it does give you a lot of lace space. You can see at the top there, like, it's gonna lay really flat on your head if you wear this, kind of giving like outre melted hairline vibes. That's always great when it comes to lace part units. And then again, it is HD lace. I am going to tint my lace because it's a bit yellow for me. So if you have a lighter skin tone, this will probably work well. If you have a darker skin tone, you'll see farther in the video, I think it does tint pretty well. It is definitely tintable, so it's not a lace you have to worry about being too ghostly or anything, as long as you have a tint for it. You can't just slap it on your head any kind of way if it doesn't match for you. So this hairline, I actually thought it looked really good. I don't have too many complaints about it. I just know for where I sit wigs on my head, I definitely wanted to just pluck out the top area where I wanted to have like little peeks through a scalp. I wanted to poke it. I wanted to pluck it out just a little bit more for me. Now, on the average head, if you pull your wig pretty far up on your forehead, I don't think you really need to pluck anything. But if you're like me and you kind of put it close to your hairline, you probably are going to want to pluck a little bit. So that's what I did. Also, I did want to know, I sectioned out the baby hair just in the areas that I typically use baby hair, which is on the sides. I don't use a lot, so I don't feel the need to keep the whole hairline's worth. But in the areas where I do like to use baby hair, I did not pluck those out. I moved them out my way. For the lace tint, as usual, I'm using my Don't Touch My Hair lace tint. I still have trouble trying to find this in other places, so I'm gonna be so out of luck when this runs out. But I think any watery based lace tint will do you well. I don't like a thick lace tint because I feel like it leaves you with residue. Whereas a kind of watery based one, it dries, like you see me using a blow dryer. Once it dries, it's stuck. It's not gonna give you any issues at all. So at least look for a watery based lace tint if you're gonna use a lace tint. So after that, then I just cut all the lace off. I kind of cut it on my lap, so I had to cut some of that out because y'all couldn't see me doing it anyway. And then I started to put the wig on. This is a, I would say, regular to small head fit. I didn't really have any issues. It wasn't too snug on me. It fit me ear to ear, but I would say if you have a larger head, it might feel a little more restricting on you, but I wouldn't quite say it's like too tight. However, I do like that because I feel like this unit can be really worn glueless. At this point, I'm looking to see like, can this use some heat? Because, you know, I got to flatten this top down, but we're going to find out because I'm putting my blow dryer to it to see what happens. And I did feel like it does take heat very well. I didn't put a hot comb in it or anything. I just used my brush blow dryer. I'll have that link down below in the description if you want to pick that up. But yeah, all I did was use that and it got me right together. Like I didn't have to do a whole lot and it did not melt the hairs or anything. So I would say it's pretty average on the heat safe, you know, whatever synthetic wigs usually can take in heat, I would say that. Look how that HD lace just blends into my skin. No products, no put down, no nothing. It was just sitting on my head and it was already blending. That's the beauty of a good lace tint. I always have to say that as well. Is when you get it to really match your skin, it don't take a whole lot to melt it down. So for this meltdown, I am using my Got To Be in the yellow tube to do this, and I only use like two thin layers, and I only did it around the top area because I did want to make this a pretty easy install and go kind of glueless because this unit really does lay without much work to it, and I love that about this unit. I was very impressed with that I only had to lay the top, and that is so it wouldn't move out my way because y'all saw how it was blending without me doing really anything to it at all. So I feel like this is one you can kind of like pin it down or just put the combs in and make it work glueless. Like I really like that about this unit. So for the baby hairs, I am using edge control. I'm using the edge control that I got from my first wig. And I am using that to lay these down. I wanted a product that was a little bit stiffer than like the mousse, but I didn't want something as stiff as like my Got to Be just yet. So I could have time to, you know, form the baby hairs. Because when you use Got to Be straight out of the gate, like you got to be ready to go or it's going to dry and then it's going to cause you residue. If you're like me, you got to play with the baby hairs for a minute. So I went with edge control so I could still have some hold, but also still give me some time to, you know, work on the baby hairs and get them how I want them. And then I did want to note, when I'm matching up with the other side, I always go by the peak by my eyebrow. So wherever it starts on the eyebrow I did first, I match that up with the other side to make sure that they're pretty even. With me doing a lot of styling, the hair did kind of tangle just a little bit, but overall, I feel like it's pretty low maintenance. I am loving the feel and the look of this. They really got it right with this Kinky straight dupe here because it's not overly thick. They did not do too much. It's just right. Like, I'm very impressed. Like, don't sleep on Motown Tress because they came with it with Sacha. I can't even, like, I'm shook. So after that, I did lay it down, though, with a scarf to keep the baby hairs in place because they were kind of shifting on me with the fact that I used edge control. So I wanted to, like, you know, lay them down and keep them down. I don't feel like this hair is too much of a shedder, very minimal with it. Of course, you know, over time, because it is synthetic, it will probably begin to tangle and shed on you. But for what it's worth, like, it's really good on that. It's very easy, very manageable. So I did brighten up the part, though. Because I did wear a black cap underneath. You could do a bald cap with this, but since it's a lace part unit, I was like, why do all of that when I can just brighten up the part for this? I also added a little bit of Got to Be in the yellow tube over the baby hairs because even though they're shaped and everything, they weren't quite laying down with just the edge control alone. Sometimes with synthetic hairs, they can be a little bit tougher to keep down. So I did go over it again with some Got to Be to hold them in place. And this is the look. This is such a nice everyday unit. Like, it really didn't give me much trouble at all. I was super impressed. Like, I'm really shook. Like, this is a great unit. I highly recommend it, honestly. If you're looking for a nice, easy synthetic unit, it's not hard to put on. It looks great. It gives you the frontal effect without having to wear a frontal. And then again, it is a 360 HD lace unit, so you can put it in ponytails and things. I did on the package, I saw they put it in a low ponytail, so I wanted to recreate my own low pony with it. So I left, you know, the two kind of fang hairs out in the front, and then I'm doing a low pony in the back just to give y'all a little bit of options that you can do with this unit. You could also, I feel like, because it did have lace in the back, you could glue it down in the back as well. But if you're gonna do a low pony, it's not totally necessary for that. But yeah, this unit is super cute, very realistic, super impressed. Like, okay, Motown Tress. Now let's move to the braid wig. So this is the braided unit. It does have brown lace on this unit. It's not HD, but it does blend quite well. Putting it on, I noticed straight away the fit for me was a little bit snug. I would definitely classify this braided wig as small head friendly. I think maybe they made it a little bit snugger so it would like fit to your scalp, you know, perfectly, seeing as it's supposed to look like cornrows. But for me, it was a little bit snug. I felt like I should have been able to, the way that it's constructed, the wig should have sat farther back on my head. You see like that humpage area? I felt like that was supposed to go farther back, but I couldn't pull it farther back because this is not the type of wig where you can wear your edges out. So that did give me some trouble. This wig actually, outside of that though, is very easy to wear. All you really had to do was slap it on and then play with the baby hairs and get them how you want them. I would go slow with, you know, cutting off the baby hairs and playing with them and everything because you don't want to end up cutting off too much because you can't go back once it's off. So you see me looking crazy here. I'll just keep going until I get it. And that's really all it took with this unit. I did not, you know, lay it down with any Got to Be or anything underneath the wig. It's very tight, so it's gonna lay, you know, just as is. So it didn't give me any trouble with that. So basically, yeah, all I'm doing is playing with the baby hairs for this unit until I get it right.
I've been doing my own thing. Love is always had a way of having that timing. But to my great surprise, ever since I looked in your eyes, I had one question for you. words I'm saying for real. 'Cause you got more appeal than any man in this whole world. And baby, I got to know how you feel. Tell me if you want me to. If you want my time, I wanna make it good for you. If you want mine, I promise you that I'll be true. You're the perfect, so tell me if you want me to. Tell me if you want me to. If you want my time, I wanna make it good.
So my camera died while I was filming me fixing the parts, but I like just explained to you what I did. Basically, I just filled them in like you see me doing, and then I went over it with some mousse when it was all said and done to kind of fix the areas where it got on the braid so it would look real clean. And that's pretty much all I did, you know, to make it look more like scalp. You could actually do a bald cap. This is the final result. I really liked it. Again, my only real issue with this was that the hump at the top, because it was a bit of a small wig, I don't feel like I could wear it totally properly. So I do wish it was a little bit bigger. But other than that, I think the style is cute. It covered my edges fully, so I didn't have any issues there. It's a nice length, not too full, not too, you know, thin or anything. So I think it's really cute. If you're interested, all the details will be down below in the description box. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.